Hello friends. In the last lecture we had a couple of discussion related to services. Now in continuation to the same we would be talking about custom addressing. Now another option to customize service is with a cluster IP element. In our previous example so far we have not specified an IP address, which means that it chooses the internal address of the service for us. However, we can add this element and choose the IP address in advance with something like cluster IP. Example can be 10.0.125.105. Now there may be times when you don't want to load balance and would rather have DNS with say a record for each part. For example, software that needs to replicate data evenly to all nodes may rely on a record to distribute data. In this case, we can use example like the following one and set cluster IP to none. Now, Kubernetes will not assign an IP address and instead only assign a record in DNS for each of the pods. If you are using DNS, the service should be available at Node.js none or Node.js none.default.cluster.local from within the cluster. Now we have the following code as you can see on the screen. Now this code is for Node.js headless service.yaml. Now test it out after you create the service with the trusty executive exec command. Now as you can see on the screen, you can test it out. Okay, let's quickly move to service discovery. Now we already discussed earlier the Kubernetes master keeps track of all service definitions and updates. Now discovery can occur in one of the three ways. The first two methods use Linux environment variables. There is support for the Docker link style of environment variables, but Kubernetes also has its own naming convention. Here is an example what our node.js service example might look like using KTS environment variable. Uh, Node IP will vary though. So as you can see on the screen, this is service environment variables. Now another option for discovery is through DNS. While environment variables can be useful with DNS is not available, it has drawbacks. The system only creates variable at creation time. So services that come online later will not be discovered or would require some additional tooling to update all the system environments. Okay, so we discussed about these two services. Now let's quickly take a pause before starting, with the next service that we will do in the next lecture. So thank you very much.